You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Underrated Rage, and today I'll be doing a video discussing Natsu's ultimate form. Now, when it comes to Natsu, he is no stranger to getting new forms. Like, basically any main character when it comes to a battle shonen is going to get new forms. Let's be honest here. We know we got people like Goku. He's had Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan blue, red, purple, pink. Like, he just keeps on getting more and more power-ups. You've got people like Naruto, who've had multiple 9-tail transformation, from 1 tails, 2 tails, 3 tails, etc, etc. And Luffy with gear 4th, gear 3rd, gear 2nd, all that. Ichigo, Hollow, Bankai, all that good stuff. So majority of the main characters for battle shonens, they always go through transformations, and Natsu, he is the same. He has had multiple transformations. He's had multiple different power-ups in the series, but today I'm going to be doing a video discussing what Natsu's ultimate form could be and what his ultimate form actually turned out to be. Now, the one thing that I do gotta say before I get into this video is that this video, it is going to contain a little bit of spoilers, as far as like, some of the stuff that happened like down the line. It's not going to be anything too big, but yeah, there are going to be some spoilers. So yeah, I'm just letting anime onlys know now. I don't want to hear the comments, oh my god, you spoiled me. Like, I'll give you guys your heads up. So without further ado, let's go and get into the video. Now, the first transformation, or the first series of transformation I should say, is Dragon Force. Now, we know that Dragon Force is basically like the Super Saiyan of the series. It's basically the power up that only Dragon Slayers can get, and it basically makes them a lot more strong. It makes their Dragon Slayer magic a lot more potent and more destructive. And really, there are a couple ways you could go about getting it. Now, we've seen Natsu, he used his Dragon Force the first time versus Jalal back in the whole Tower of Heaven arc, and that's when he ate the Ethereum. Now, we know that any normal person isn't really supposed to be eating the Ethereum, but Natsu basically did that, and he obtained Dragon Force, I guess you could say artificially. Like, it wasn't natural, but still he did end up getting Dragon Force from that. So that was really the first time that we seen Natsu use Dragon Force. And then we move on to the Flame of Rebuke. Now, I know a lot of people, they don't like the Flame of Rebuke. A lot of people, they say that it came out of nowhere. They're like, where did this flame even come from? We never even heard about it. Me personally, I think it was a dope entrance where Jalal's him sitting there holding his flame. That was hype. See him just holding his flames, like, here, take my flames. And then we saw Natsu basically got a mega power up off of that. So yeah, Natsu, when he devoured the Flame of Rebuke, that's when he obtained his second form of Dragon Slayer mode, or Dragon Force mode. So yeah, Flame of Rebuke was a very dope transformation. And then last but not least, we have the natural Dragon Force mode, and this one is hands down my favorite transformation due to the fact that he turns into a dragon. Like, he literally turns into a dragon. All right, not literally, but like figuratively, he kind of turns into a dragon. We see that he starts getting scales all over his body, and we see that he used this during the whole fight versus Margear. We saw that once he used Dragon Force, and once he used it, like, obtained it naturally without having to like get any outside help, he basically ended up looking like a dragon. And I think it was dope because, listen, this was the closest that we seen Natsu to getting to his dragon form. So yeah, I definitely do gotta say that Natsu's natural Dragon Force was definitely a treat for us. Now, the next form that I want to discuss is his END form. Now, if you guys don't know, Natsu is END. Yes, END, the demon that everybody is feared of. Etherius Natsu Dragon Needle is what it stands for. And here's the whole thing with END. He is basically hyped up to be as strong as Acnologia. Yes, END was basically Zeref's like biggest creation. It was his strongest creation, and Zeref always said, yo, there are 2 people who will be able to defeat Acnologia. Me if I get Fairy Heart, or END. And we even heard in Neil, he even mentioned END to Acnologia. He was like, yo, are you scared of END? Why are you still doing this stuff? He was like, yo, why are you still going on a rampage? Are you scared of END? And we saw Acnologia. He was like, what? Me being scared? No. But we will never really be able to find out if END is actually as strong as Acnologia. But the one thing I do gotta say is that END, this was potentially his strongest power up, just simply due to the fact that they said that this form was going to be as strong as Acne Logia. And let's be honest, Acne Logia, he is the strongest person in Fairy Tail, in my opinion. I definitely do think that 90% of the fan base, 98% of the fan base can agree with me on that one. Acne Logia, the strongest character. So if you have a transformation that is basically on par with the strongest person, yeah, let's just say that you are a monster. So yeah, Natsu's E&D form is definitely something that shouldn't be overlooked. And I definitely do think that once the anime gets to that moment and once they start animating the stuff from the manga that revolves around E&D, hype stuff will be guaranteed. Now, the next form that I gotta discuss is Natsu's dragon form. And one thing I forgot to mention about the whole Natsu E&D form, and I kind of wanted to wait till I mentioned his Natsu dragon form. And I know some of you guys might be thinking, wait, Natsu's dragon form, do you mean Dragon Force? No. At a point in the series, we saw Natsu, he was basically knocked unconscious, and a lot of people, we were thinking, what's going on? Is this Natsu dying? You know, is he about to pass away? However, we found out that this was due to basically both of Natsu's, I guess you'd say, inner demons, no pun intended, but his inner demons colliding. And I know some of you guys will be thinking, what do you mean by that? Well, we basically saw that since Natsu was E&D and since he was a Dragon Slayer, that was colliding and that was basically going head on with Natsu's, you know, body, and it was starting to take a toll on him. And we saw at one point Igneel, he visited Natsu and he told him, yo, you have to pick either E&D form or Dragon form. And we basically saw that whole thing that went down there. But I want to touch up on Dragon Natsu because this would have been amazing to see due to the fact that we know that it could have happened because once Igneel and them, had they not created antibodies for the Dragon Slayers, they would have turned out similar to people like Acne Logia. Whereas Acne Logia, he could turn into a dragon, but he has a human form as well. So since he has that, then that basically means that Natsu, he would have had a chance to turn into a dragon. Yes, that would have been crazy. And we even saw Igneel, he was like, yo, which one do you want to hold on? Do you want to hold on to your demon power or your dragon power? Now, me personally, I think that if Natsu would have had a dragon power up, he would have been as strong as Acne Logia, because I think that's what makes Acne Logia strong, the fact that he could turn into a dragon and a human. But I definitely do gotta say that Natsu's dragon form, and I'm talking about like an actual dragon transformation, not no natural dragon force, like an actual dragon transformation, would have been dope. Now, the next form that I want to discuss, I don't know if you guys want to take this as canon or not, but since this is really the only type of Fairy Tail content, like new Fairy Tail content that we go to get in a while, I wouldn't say that, yeah, I just got to bring this up. And this is Natsu's form in the movie Dragon Cry. Now, I have not seen Dragon Cry yet. However, I am aware of his form where he basically turns into a mini like hybrid dragon. And let me just say, oh my god, that form looks dope. That form looks amazing. And I definitely do think that had that form been in the manga, and I just can't wait to watch the movie and see what he actually can do with it, I think that this form has potential. It kind of looks like natural Dragon Force, but you know, upgraded, you know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming that it has something to do with natural Dragon Force, maybe some type of mutation, maybe somebody did some type of like spell on him or something, or some type of magic enchanting, I don't know, but it looks a lot like natural Dragon Force. And I definitely do think that this has potential to be one of Natsu's strongest forms, if not his strongest form that he has unlocked. So yeah, hype stuff for Fairy Tail Dragon Cry. Now, I know at this point some of you guys might be thinking, okay, what is Natsu's final form? You've been mentioning all of these different forms, you've been mentioning all the different transformations, but what is it? We know that Natsu, like I said earlier on in the video, Igneel, he basically gave Natsu a choice. He was like, yo, you want to be a dragon or do you want to be a demon? And this was very controversial, very controversial at the time. But then Natsu, he basically said, I don't want to be any of that. I want to be a human. And basically the demon side of Natsu ended up crumbling away and the dragon side of Natsu ended up crumbling away. And really, Natsu's ultimate form was basically human Natsu. And I can understand what he said. Like, I understand the concept, but I think it would have been dope had he had to pick one or the other, because let's be honest, we would have all liked to see in either A, an E&D, a demon Natsu, you know, an ethereous Natsu Dragon Neo, or B, a dragon Natsu. And it's kind of like a little bit messed up that Hiro Mashima, the author of Fairy Tail, just straight up said, nope, none of these are happening, you're staying as a human. And yeah, that was basically Natsu when he was at his strongest point. When he rejected both E&D and the dragon transformation, that's when Natsu became his strongest, and that's when he basically achieved his ultimate form. So overall, Natsu's ultimate form turned out to be his human side. You know, even though he was blessed to have things like the E&D power and the Dragon Slayer magic, you know, all the good things that came with that, in the end, his ultimate form relied on him when he became a human. Comment what you guys think down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.